Okay.
I don't know though. Go ahead, Kyle. What do you?
Yeah, I've got another AMA question. By the way, if you become a $10 Patreon, not only do you get access to PKN, but you also get to ask these questions from us. Have any of you ever had what a religious person might call a spiritual experience, like a crazy coincidence that might delude someone? I like your language, buddy. You're really coming into this from a
guns blazing
neutral standpoint.
into believing in something supernatural, or just a powerful, meaningful experience that somehow shaped how you view the world. He's been a fan since he's 14 years old. He's 22 now. Love you guys.
I do like the way you asked that. Hey, idiots, have you ever been tricked?
I think the thing would be that, like, I've been in a lot of like close calls, and it just seemed like nothing ever hurt me. And so after a while, I started believing maybe not in an actual God who's like a guy with a gray beard watching over me, but maybe in fate. Maybe that, like, I just think that I'm not saying I'm meant for something greater. I'm not going to be the John Connor of the future, but maybe I'm just not supposed to die like this, or it would have happened. This just seems so stupid what just happened. And I'm not just talking about stuff that I filmed, but like stupid. There's a reason that I was so quick to start doing stupid stuff on the internet. I'd been doing that stuff my whole life, just real dangerous, stupid things out in a field or a pasture on getting on top of moving vehicles on the highway, like climbing out the passenger side window and just surfing on top of the car, or, jumping on top of a bull's back that when I had no training to do such a thing, or, lots of gun stuff that was just, it wasn't that I was necessarily being unsafe, but it was just an unsafe situation. Lots of ATV accidents I've been in, like where I got concussions and got thrown, but I never died. I hit a piece of wire once on an ATV going as fast as it would go. I don't know how fast that is, and the wire caught me right in the throat to the point, and it just pulled me right off. And I just got up. I don't know. So after a while, maybe it's ridiculous to think this way. I was like, maybe I'm just not supposed to die in some kind of stupid thing. Maybe I'm supposed to die old in a bed, or maybe I'm supposed to die in some other stupid way that just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's more likely.
Yeah. Supposed to choke on a fucking jujube.
For me, I don't really think there's any spiritual kind of like moment, but there's two things that come to mind that have been more life-changing moments. I actually was drinking a lot in my late teens, like a shitload. Like I'd get blind drunk, drive home pretty much 3-4 nights a week. And I was just like, I'm like almost untouchable, like as you were saying. And then I got done for drink driving. And I actually thought I was a lot more drunk than I was when I got pulled up. And I didn't blow much over, but I only lost my license for 6 months, which was awesome compared to what it could have been. And after that, I actually had a very big change in how I perceived my health and everything. It was a bit of a wake-up call. Like, you wake up like, shit, that was stupid what I was doing. And I could have hurt someone. I'll never drink drive. It's actually stupid as fuck. That was one thing where I changed my actual health side of things. I don't really drink much anymore. You saw me have a beer before this, but that was my wind down from the stream. And then a few years ago, about 5 years ago, one of my grandmother's friends was at the house, and I was talking to her about life, which was kind of a weird topic, but she was telling me about how, I said to her, did you ever really want to travel or anything like that? Because you seem like a really happy person. And she goes, I've never traveled outside of Australia. I'm like, oh, does that bother you? She's like, yes, it does. And she wanted this massive, like, almost like a tangent preach. She was really upset that she'd never lived her life how she wanted to live it. Her parents told her that she had to get married, have kids, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, that's, really upsetting. I don't want to live my life like that where I'm living it to someone else's expectation. Mm-hmm. And she died soon after that. And that's kind of resonated with me a lot. So that's not the reason why I want to live life how I want to live it. There was definitely a major contributing factor to now I don't like. That's why I got out of the army. It was the main reason I got out. It's like I'm sick of doing things on someone else's schedule. If I want to go to Europe, I'm going to go to Europe. If I want to jump out a plane, I'm going to jump out a plane. And if I want to take a day off today, I'm going to take a fucking day off.
Yeah. I had a similar thing. Like my dad told me the story of when my uncle was dying of cancer. They were very close. And as he's in the hospital bed and dad's talking to him, my uncle said, if I get out of here, let's travel. Let's do this and that. And dad's like, if you get out of here, we're going to buy a $250,000 RV and we're going to see every state. We're going to this and we're going to that. Well, he died a year later, but I was really happy that like I got to do a lot of traveling. Like I've been to most of the states, like all the way up both coasts. Like I drove from Georgia all the way up to Seattle and then back, and then Georgia all the way up past New York. And, I've been to like 40 states or something like that. So I'm glad I did a lot of that. I plan to do more of that. Like it's one of those things. I don't know if you guys heard Shaq talking recently about Kobe Bryant dying. The video's huge right now. I don't know, 15 million views in a day or something like that. It's really heartfelt.
Is it a short video? We should watch it.
It's probably
Or-
NBA.
okay,
You know how the
never mind.
NBA
Never
is.
mind.
But I strongly suggest anybody out there that's interested at all. Like it doesn't matter if you're interested in Kobe Bryant or basketball or Shaq. It's just it's sort of a life lesson of him regretting not spending more time with Kobe and really not spending more time telling him how he felt about him. And so people that have lost people like that, I think all of us sort of try to do that. Like I try to tell everybody that I care about them. I guess you two will notice, you don't hear that too much from me. Take a hint.
Never. Not once. No.
Not once. That's intentional. But
You bitch.
but it's important. No, I love you guys. I really do. You guys are a big part of my life. I love both of you. I really do. From the heart. Really, really
Lots of love here.
love you guys. I wish the best for you all the time. I really do. Even though you're misguided and you don't want to have those kids, and you're just going to you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. Get a dog. Get another dog. Don't do it. Don't do it.
This is like what was it, like 3 months ago? We're talking about this, and Kyle goes, "God, Taylor, fuck! I hope you're sterile." It's just like,
Yeah. I feel
And he
like
wants the best for you when he says that.
this
if
is
I
exactly
am, we'll have a wild life. Yeah.
this is exactly how like a
adopted.
jihadist's best friend feels as he sees his friend go farther and farther into like more and more radical parts of the religion. He starts hanging around with a bunch of, now he's growing the beard out, like, and he used to drink with us, and now he's preaching to us about this and that, and he's really anti-American all of a sudden, and he came home the other night. He had one of those. His face was all black because some soot had went off, and he said he was just cleaning a chimney, but I think it was testing explosives. And like, I feel like you're slowly becoming a jihadi.
Is that goat blood on your penis again?
Yeah,
It's not supposed to bleed.
I'm just watching you slip closer and closer into being a terrorist, and there's nothing
An
I can
apt
do.
comparison.
It's exactly that, because you're committing reproductive suicide. Suicide by reproduction.
That
I
is
guess,
the
would be
opposite of what he's
suicide
doing.
by reproduction. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reproduction and suicide seem like opposite things.
No, Kyle's made lots of salient points in that.
Yes. Well thought out. I was reading that.
Yeah.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
That is in no way just some nonsense I'm spouting because Taylor shouldn't have children. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It'll be a while from now. But then again, I'm only using the pull-out method as safety, so who knows? It could be any time. Sterile. Big money, no whammies.
I've been looking up all sorts of black magic to sterilize you. It turned out that radium is the best way.
Radium, really?
Yeah.
I mean, if I can't have kids, I'm not adopting. All the money I make's just gonna be for me doing fun things the rest of my life. Then, right? I can save some up. Make sure that I go to a really fun old folks home, because I don't want like mean old folk home. Because you know all those horrible stories you hear about in old folks homes,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, this fucking 78-year-old woman, like this caretaker got impatient and just started
Pick the old folks home with the highest sexually transmitted disease rate.
No,
That's
No,
the
I
good
would-
one.
yeah, well, okay. Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
hey,
no,
I
do
came
I
here to
have
party,
shit?
and they're like, we're all just really afraid of that one orderly. Just don't make eye contact. Also, he has the clap. Fuck.
That's not at all how I saw this going.
I thought this was party central. Oh no.
That must be a fun thing to do. It like getting the doctor checkup. You're 83 years old, frail, and you're doing a lot of fucking. And they're like, Mr. Johnson, you have chlamydia again. He's like, don't even bother fixing it. Who fucking cares? Oh, it's gonna hurt me when I'm 88. I'm not making it that long, bitch. I can read my chart. Like, that kind of shit. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know, some STD test made me think of it. My DNA test should be back like tomorrow. So by next week's
Ooh.
show, I'll have like not only all of my genealogy or whatever you call it, like
Yeah.
what parts of the world my ancestors reign from, but also like the chances that I'll develop cancer or a
Alzheimer's.
bunch of Alzheimer's. Yeah, I couldn't remember what that other. What's the name of that thing that makes you forget things? It's being an asshole. It's God punishing you. No, the other one, the one that's real. Yeah, Alzheimer's. I'll find out. Actually, I'm gonna double check that it hasn't come in now because they're at the point where they're like calculating data or something. No, it hasn't come in.
Oh,
But
would you
yeah,
get it
on
online? I pictured a package.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
as
didn't
soon
know
as like
I just like
I
to
use 23andMe. I'm gonna log in and like.
just point out to the audience another PKA promise made, another PKA promise kept, as per typical.
Yeah,
I think
the
Kyle's going to be mostly white. Mostly white.
the light from the
in my eyes.
it's so bright.
Oh, he's just doing a half dab. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, first I was registered, then my stuff arrived at the lab, then it was prepped, extracted, genotyped, reviewed, and now they are computing the results, and that is the final step. So they said I'll know. That was yesterday, and it says 1 to 2 days. So I would imagine tomorrow I'll know. So next show I'll be able to show up in full Native American headdress, or maybe like some sort of Rastafarian thing. I'm taking advantage of this.
Yeah, whatever you are, I hope you get good results.
Yeah, me too. I hope I get some fucking crazy results. I'm a little worried that I'm like going to get cancer, and that this is going to be like, oh yeah, 100%. You've probably got it now at your age.
Well, guys, bad news. I'm going to get cancer of the colon, but I can say the N-word. So
Also, sickle cell anemia is on the rise.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'd want to know that stuff, like the disease stuff.
I'm not
That would
with
really
you on
spook
that.
me.
I paid $100 extra just to know that. Like they offered it to me after they'd gotten after I registered the kit and everything. They're like, hey, for $100 extra, would you like to know your odds of getting this and that, and whether you have like aversion to cilantro? Like some people, cilantro tastes like soap to them. Now, obviously, I know that I'm not one of those people, but it gives you so much data like that, things that are genetically related.
Do you think you become paranoid about it?
Pardon?
Do you think you'll become paranoid about certain things though? Like
No, I've long
just don't
said
give a fuck.
I
You're like,
live
I'm
like
gonna
it's a
die.
throwaway account. Yeah, I just don't care. Like when we used to play Call of Duty, we'd make these new accounts just to run through the first 40 or 50 levels in a week or so, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, now I'm done. Throw it away. Not renewing that account. That's the way everyone should live their lives, because those are the most fun accounts.
That's fair.
I think I'm the only one to do the question, but I don't have a good answer. No spiritual experiences for me. I
What
can't
was it?
think of anything.
Oh, the spiritual experience.
Yeah, have you ever had a
Woody,
what a religious?
are you serious right now? You tried to kill yourself and the rope broke.
Yeah, it was. Everything is so easily explained, though. My attachment point was weak, and the rope
Okay.
didn't break. I don't know if people are going to know what this is, but on a skylight, you like have this thing on a bar that you turn and you hook it, and it's just threaded on there, and it's weak, and the hook came off the skylight.
Fair enough.
Thank God Hank Hill wasn't there with you prepping that hanging
You gotta
station.
countersink it, Woody.
Now you're never gonna get quite the snap if you don't countersink it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like all this stuff, like, oh yeah, well that was obviously too weak to do this. Oh right, this happens. And unlike you, I've been hurt plenty of times. Someone asked me how many bones I broke, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I also like to make a lot of bad decisions, but I seem to pay for them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, no, nothing that I write off to a divine intervention.
Yeah. Any spiritual stuff for you, Bastilli?
Not really spiritual, but definitely life-changing moments that just, like I said before, about, my grandmother's friend who just before she told me about, she hated the fact that she lived her life whilst, how her parents told her to live it, and wish she traveled and done all the things she wanted to see.
Yeah.
She was really upset about it, and I could tell. And, like, when you're looking at like someone who's like, a lot older and they're telling you something, but they're actually telling you it. It's like, I was like, shit, I don't want to be like that.
See,
Yeah,
now you're in
never
the
wanna be like
Netherlands. Look at that.
Yeah.
Everything's working out.